There's no denying that Colorado is a better program now than what they were before they first hired Deion Sanders. He's done a lot for not just the University of Colorado, but also for the Boulder community. He's brought a lot of eyes, a lot of revenue to the area and Colorado. But once you start losing, all the goodwill that you built up starts to go away when the money stops coming in. People start to become disinterested in the team, and nobody wants to pay money to support a team at home that is getting half of 100 points put up on them by halftime every single week. And Colorado won't hesitate to fire Deion Sanders if they continue to lose the way that they have in 2026. This is a production-based business. People have a "what have you done for me lately" mentality. And if Deion Sanders doesn't start winning some games in 2026 again, Colorado isn't going to be scared to fire him. There's always a lot better than the team can do when you're losing. Nobody cares about what Colorado was before Deion got there. You can only use, well, he turned around a one-win program in 2 years for so long until people start wondering, okay, you rebuilt the program from 1 win to 9, but where's the improvement? What's the next step? And coming into this season, nobody really was expecting for Colorado to be a playoff contender or compete for the Big 12, but you at least thought the program was at a level where they would consistently be winning 6 games under Deion Sanders. And right now, Deion Sanders definitely deserves all the blame for the disaster that this season has been for Colorado. They made him one of the highest paid coaches in college football this offseason. With a pay increase also becomes an increase in expectations. And Deion Sanders hasn't improved Colorado this season. And the coaching staff hires that he has made have been awful. Just because you played the game at a high level doesn't mean that you're going to be a good coach. Being a good player and being a good coach requires 2 different skill sets. It's one thing to play the game at a high level. It's another thing to be able to coach this game at a high level. Just because you know how to read or you're good at math doesn't mean that you're going to be a good math teacher or you're going to be a good language arts teacher. Deion Sanders hasn't done a good job of having his team ready to play. And you can't say it's not his fault when everything falls on the head coach. It's Deion's fault that the offense has a terrible play caller that should have gotten the boot at the end of last season. Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, along with the other good players that they had on that side of the ball, carry Pat Shurmur. If you watch Pat Shurmur dating back to his days calling plays in the NFL, he's always been extremely terrible at it. Robert Livingston, he looked like a good hire last year, but this year the defense has fell off the map because there just isn't a lot of talent on that side of the football. Warren Sapp looked like he was a really good hire last year. The defensive line, he had them boys playing really well. Now this year, the D-line can't stop the pass. They can't stop the run. So what's Warren Sapp really there for? To be Deion Sanders' partner in crime? You know, it really rubbed me the wrong way to see Warren Sapp last week against Utah kicking over the pylon and Deion Sanders defended saying, yeah, that's our pregame thing. He makes a mess. I clean it up. That just shows how unserious he is when it comes to assembling a good coaching staff. Deion Sanders is a CEO head coach, which means that he's only going to have as much success as the people that he surrounds him around or surrounds himself with allows him to have. When you are a CEO coach, your success is tied to your coordinators. And Deion Sanders' coordinators are some of the worst in all of college football, along with his position coaches. What about his director of personnel guy, who has whiffed on the majority of the transfer portal pickups that they got? The model of sustainability in college football comes down to how well you can recruit, along with mixing that in with some good transfer portal pickups. The transfer portal is not a sustainable way of building up a team for long-term success. It's good to quickly turn around a team, but if you're trying to compete for a national championship, the lifeline of that team is going to be through high school recruiting. Colorado hasn't really done a great job of that. Yeah, they get a few 4- and 5-star guys here, but they're not as committed to recruiting as what they should be. With Deion Sanders' star power, Colorado recruiting should be much better than what it is. And when you build a team through the portal, you essentially are bringing in a bunch of mercenaries that are only just there for the money, and they're not there to help better the program. Look at the difference in mentality between guys like Jordan Seaton compared to a Caden Salter. Jordan Seaton wants to make Colorado a better program than what it was before he first got there. Caden Salter and some of the other guys that Colorado has picked up through the portal, they don't have that same level of drive, that same level of commitment to the program, because the transfer portal is full of a bunch of mercenaries. Guys are just looking for the next big payday. That's it. But when you recruit guys out of high school that want to play for you, that want to better the university, you get more guys that are more committed, guys that you don't have to question if they're giving it their all. It's the same issue that Florida State has had under these last couple of years with Mike Norvell as their head coach. Nobody is going to hire Deion Sanders at a blue blood program. LSU, Penn State, and Florida are not looking for Coach Prime. He hasn't proven himself enough to be worthy of jobs of that caliber. And I still believe Deion Sanders is not a bad coach, but he's not a good coach either. He's an average coach. And next year, Deion Sanders is on the clock. If Colorado doesn't win at least 6 games or more, they won't be scared to fire him. It's not about who would they hire that's better. There's plenty of coaches out there that can do a better job assembling a better coaching staff and having this team ready to play than what Deion Sanders has over these last couple of weeks. If anything, the Colorado that we see right now looks like the same Colorado team before Deion Sanders arrived with all his Louis luggage. They only have 3 wins this year. 1 out of 3 of those wins has come up against a Power 4 opponent. So if you took away the win against Delaware and Wyoming, Colorado truly only has 1 win against Power 4 level competition. And that's a sign of bad coaching. And rather, if you want to hold Deion Sanders accountable or not, when you continue to see a team that gets half of 100 hang on them before halftime, that falls on the coach. The coaching staff not being good, not be able to put these players in position to succeed, that falls on the coaching staff too. That falls on the head coach.